Tonight I'm looking at this game, Batt'l Kha'os from Z-Man Games. It's a two-player competitive tile laying game. I'm going to show you how it works, and then I'll be back to give you my thoughts on it. This is how a game of Batt'l Kha'os looks when it's first been set up. You'll see in the center of the table there's this tile with a tower on it. It has a little flag here. You can't see it very well with this camera, but there's a Roman numeral 2 on it. And there are soldiers around it. There's two of my purple orc soldiers in this corner, and in each of these corners there's an orange human soldier. When one of us captures this tower, we get the 2 points on it, and the object of the game is to score 7, to be the first person to score 7 points by capturing towers. So how we're going to go about doing that is in your hand you're going to have 3 tiles, and each it's orcs versus humans. The player with the most wearing the most green goes first, and he plays the orcs. So I'm assuming that I'm wearing the most green, and that's what I'm doing. So these are the tiles I have available to me. On my turn, I'm going to play 1 tile from my hand. You'll notice each of these tiles has soldiers in any of the 4 corners. This one has 3 human soldiers and 2 orcs. Orcs are mine. This one has 2 humans here, 1 human there, 1 orc in each of those. And this one has 2 humans here and 1 orc in each of those corners. So I'm going to go ahead and take this tile and I'm going to play it. I have to play it edge to edge with the tile that's in the middle of the table. I can't play it on a corner like that. It has to be edge to edge. So I'm going to play it like that. And then since I only have 3 tiles, I'm going to draw another tile. I can take any of these 3 tiles that are over here on the edge. This one has a lot of orcs, so I'm going to go ahead and take that one, and we replace that tile with another one off of the stack. So my opponent now is going to play one of his tiles. He has these 3 tiles over here. He can play one of these. Another thing that you can always do on your turn is you can play any of the 7 tower tiles that start out over here. You'll see that each tile has some soldiers on it. It has a flag with some points. Tells you how many points it's worth. But otherwise, other than the combinations of soldiers and the color of the flag and the number of points it's on, it doesn't matter which of these you grab. So you can always play that. If you play one of these, you have to play it again edge to edge with another tile, but it can't be adjacent to a tower that's already in play. So like I could play it here, but I couldn't play it there off of that tower. You can't have 2 towers next to each other. But my opponent probably isn't going to choose to do that on his turn. Instead, he's going to maybe grab this tile, and he's going to play it like so, putting 3 of his soldiers in this corner of the tower. And then he's going to draw another tile into his hand, and it's going to be back to my turn. Now on my turn, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm going to play it here. And I'm going to go ahead and play one of my special tokens. You have these special tokens. There's 5 basic tokens, and then there's 5 advanced tokens. You start out with the basic tokens the first time you play, and then after that you can start to mix it up. But you'll always only ever have 5 out of the 10 tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and take this drummer right here. What this drummer does is he, you can't see very well, but he adds +1 soldier to each corner where I already have a soldier. So now instead of 1 soldier in each of these corners, I have 2 soldiers in each of those corners. It doesn't affect these corners at all because I don't have any soldiers in those corners. I can only play this token on the tile I just played. I can't play it on one that's already been played. So now you'll notice that 1 corner of this tower is completed. We've got these 3 tiles here, complete that corner. So we figure out who controls that corner. Well, he's got 3 soldiers there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gives me 6. So I definitely control that corner. I'm going to look at this supply of banners over here and take one of my banners, put it in that corner. we're going to do that. We're going to continue to play like that. He's going to put, one here, and then I'm going to put one there, and we'll see who resolves that. Oh, he's got more than me there, so we're going to put that there, and then let's see who'll go ahead and play that there. I'm going to throw this guy down there, so I'm going to control that corner, and then let's say I get to put this tile over here. Now we're matched here, so I'm going to put one of these neutral tokens there. Now the entire tower has been completed. We see who has the most banners there. This is a neutral, so it doesn't really go for either of us. I've got 2 and he's got 1. So I captured the tower, I put one of my tokens there, and the rest of these tokens, these banner tokens, get taken away. Okay, that's how you capture a tower. At this point, or perhaps even before we got to that point, somebody is going to play another tower. Let's say he plays one here, so that he has 4 of his guys there, 2 of his guys there. I've only got 3. There's probably not going to be able to put something there that will capture that. So I may just go ahead and give it up to him, and so that I'll have a guy here. Okay, so that's basically how it works. We're going to build around this tower, or somebody may go ahead and throw in another tower down here, and we're going to keep playing until somebody has captured towers worth 7 points. Now, if there was a tie on a tower, as to, like I controlled 2 corners and he controlled 2 corners, then the color of the flag is the tiebreaker. So this is a orange flag on this one, so that would go to him. This is a purple flag on this one, so it would go to me. And that's basically how the game works. Like I said, you have these tokens that do various things. This is like the drummer, but twice as good. This guy multiplies the number of soldiers, so like if I were to play him on here, this would be, it doubles the number of soldiers. So this would be 6 instead of 3. This guy lets me immediately play another tile. So if I played this tile, threw that down, I could immediately play another tile right there and probably capture that corner, which would be pretty sweet for me. And this guy, when you play him, if I played him on that one, for example, it means that on my opponent's next turn, he couldn't play any tile adjacent to this one. And of course, my opponent has the same tokens over there that he can play. And again, there's 5 more of those special tokens that all do different stuff. And when you're playing the game, when you're setting up the game, you get to choose which 5 out of the 10 you're going to use. In addition to that, there are special tiles that you can mix into the deck of tiles. There's 5 of them. You'll see that they all have special things in the middle of them, and they all do special things. There's in the rule book it explains what each of these does, but it adds a little more variety to the game. And that's basically how the game works. So the first thing I want to say about Batt'l Kha'os is that it's a fun game. For 2 players, it's kind of a medium weight strategy game. So it's easy to get into. The rules are pretty intuitive, but there's a little bit of depth and nuance to how you play the game once you understand what you're doing. I like how each tile has some of your own troops and some of your opponent's troops, and you really have to think about how you're going to play that tile, or even which tiles you're going to take from the stack, because you might want to take a tile that has a lot of your troops so that you can place it in such a way that you can maximize the effectiveness of those troops, but you might also take a tile that has a lot of your opponent's troops so you can play it in a way that it'll have the least impact on the conflict. So there's that. It's pretty interesting, and sometimes your opponent will surprise you because you might arrange some tiles to put your troops close to a tower and his troops away from the tower, but then he comes in with another tower tile, and all of a sudden now he's got a tower with a bunch of his troops around it. So that's pretty cool. The special tokens add, again, a little more variety to the game, another element of strategy, which is pretty cool. I think there's maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity in that the special tokens for each side are identical. If it were me, I would have made the
the 5 basic tokens the same for each side, but then the 5 advanced tokens, I would have had them do completely different things. And so that way, when you're first starting to play the game, each player can be on like an even footing with the other. But as you get more experience and you start using some of those more advanced special tokens, then the factions would kind of feel different. The humans would feel different from the orcs. So I don't think that's a big thing. That doesn't ruin the game for me or anything like that, but I just feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity on the part of the designers. I do like the art direction of the game. Everything's very clear and crisp and easily legible. It's a bit cartoony, but that's kind of fun. Visually, it reminds me a little bit of playing like one of the old Warcraft games for the PC, which is kind of a fun theme to have in a board game. So overall, I would say if you're looking for a kind of medium weight strategy game for 2 players, it's definitely worth looking into. It's a tile laying game. That's pretty cool. Not a lot of those out there. And yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on Batt'l Kha'os.